And today we will start again with our message board because, guys, you are giving troubles over there all the time. So let's figure out what's going on there. Perfection is impossible without humility. Thank you so much to everyone who participated. Patrick, Noel, Jan, Richard, thank you so much. And all of you gave nice insight, deep insight. And I just want to tell you that everything what you wrote is right. However, you couldn't get to the point completely because simply you don't know Russian. So what I did, I just went to Russian and I read it in original and everything became too clear to me. Can you imagine? I was waiting for the whole week. I wanted to post on the message board, but no, guys, it was a very difficult thing, not difficult. It was checking critical thinking because can you imagine? It's literally, I went against a person who is world known, person who is respected probably by all people in the world. And I'm sure that somebody were anticipated. It looks like she's right, but no, this is Leo Tolstoy. So how can I go against it, right? So don't be afraid of anything in the world. It doesn't mean that I'm asking you be rude, but questioning everything, because only from this questioning, the truth will come, the strengths will come, the analytical minds will come. So, perfection in Russian, it's completely different word. This is impeccability, irreproachability, blamelessness, immaculacy, impeccancy. And let me go further. This is how this proverb sound in Russian. Совершенствование невозможно без смирения. И совершенствование in Russian, it's called enhancement. Can't we now substitute? Enhancement is impossible without humility. Do you like it? I love it. Development is impossible without humility. I love it. Progress is impossible without humility. Growth is impossible without humility. Evolution, extension, cultivation, amplification, even germination is impossible without humility. If we germinate something new, but now it's everything in the right place. So why this is happen, guys? This is happen because I've heard it many times in my life when people try to read in original. Probably you've heard it too, right? So there is some discrepancy. And if we will consider, see just a little bit why. English is, again, it's a pretty baby. Pretty small, not small, a little baby. It just was appeared in mid-5th, 7th centuries AD. And the Latin, for example, older language. And look at Russian. It's a 5,000 years old language. And the Sanskrit is 5,000 BC, before Christ. So this is language considered like all languages have originated from Sanskrit. And do you know that from Sanskrit, Russian appeared. And Russian, I cannot say that the English is not good, or Russian is better. No. Why English is international language? Because it's kind of simplified version. Who knows the other languages? They know we have different many things which literally we cannot translate in English. English is pretty simple. I go, you go, we go, done. In Russian, it's very complicated, and in Spanish as well, right? Very complicated. In French, very complicated. It would be very difficult for people to learn it. So this is also something like that. And when it was translated, it was a small mistake. And one interesting fact, guys, I don't study that. I cannot claim that it's a fact which I studied and know. But what was happened with Leo Tolstoy, he studied Greek, because our Bible is written original in Greek. He studied it for many years in perfect condition, and he studied completely the whole Bible in original. And unfortunately, he was very disappointed. He found a big discrepancy between Old Testament and the teaching of Christ. And he actually even renounced the church. It was a big scandalous. I don't ask you for anything, but do you know what it's made me to think? Guys, we are pretty illiterate. Do you know, we sometimes do not ask somebody else, do you know who can tell me 10 testaments from Bible? Is anybody can say by you 10 commands, sorry, 10 commandments, right? Who can tell me that? Do we know them?
All 10 of them?
Yeah.
Are you quizzing us? Like, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill, love thy brother, brotherhood of man, and the love of God. What was that? That was 4.
Anybody else can help? Or Sean, you can continue, please.
Man, you put me on the spot. I kind of forgot. I shouldn't, but.
Yes, you're completely right, but thank you so much.
Something about eating.
Gluttony, right? Gluttony. That's a sin. Wait, that's from the Catholic Church, though.
I think.
Yeah, but I think that's 7 sacraments of the Catholic Church, so that's not necessarily 10 commandments.
Right. How's about Christ? When Christ, thank you so much, guys. When Christ came, he actually brought 10 commandments. It's from Old Testament. How's about Christ? He actually brought 2 main commandments. Patrick?
Yeah, I mean, basically, the essence, the core of Christianity is just 2 commandments, right? The great commandments, right? It's love God, right? Well, I'm going to simplify it because we are talking English.
Right, you're right.
Yeah. Love God only first, right? And then love others as yourself, right?
Exactly.
That's pretty much it.
Exactly. So, and if we don't know them, it means we don't live by that. It's simply like that. And for example, if taken Veda, what we studied before, when people were living 1,000 years, they had 49 commandments. Then in Old Testament, they were living with 10 commandments. And then God seen probably that we even don't do them. So he's sending his son and saying, come on, give them 2 commandments. Maybe they will remember that. And not everyone even still know even those 2. So what does it mean? If we don't know them, it means we don't live by them. Okay, I'm going too far away. We are not about that, but maybe this was the frustration of Leo Tolstoy. It's actually a pretty big step, but he was comparing Old Testament with Christ, but let's do not go there. If it would be interesting, give your note into the message board, and we can have a separate meeting and discuss that, because it's interesting, but it would be a separate meeting. Okay, and let's move. Our stars for today is Noel. Today we will discuss his mission statement. But not only Noel, we have another stars. It's Richard with his topics, which doesn't leave anyone indifferent. We have Jan and Patrick, who always surprise us with new ideas, and Jan, who is going deep into any question. Violetta, she expressed her opinion very nicely recently. And guys, we need to welcome Shanik, who started to participate in our message board as well. I'm happy with you guys. You are doing
Yay.
fantastically, fantastically great. And no, that's enough. And Noel mission statement. Noel, you are here, right?
I am.
That's wonderful. So, and we are here, how I mentioned at the beginning, we are here to grow, right? We are here to hear our peer opinion. So I think we need to discuss it. There is a lot of good points. Let me start, or Noel, you can read. How would be convenient for you?
What is it you want me to read?
But do not, I want to read sentence by sentence. Would you like me to read,
Okay.
or you would
Sure,
like?
sure. Go ahead and read.
Okay. So I need to stop being available for women that wanna be with me, but don't know how to value or appreciate my time. Being said, for the new years, I would like to be able to find the ideal woman that has her life and emotions together and is ready to settle down. I will start with you guys, and then I will tell you what I think.
Okay, go ahead. You say you're gonna start?
No, it means I'm waiting what guys would like to say. If they don't want, then I will start.
All right.
You will right now keep silence. You will answer any the questions if guys will ask you. We will or judges, and you are on the chair.
American Idol.
Okay, guys. So then let's
I have something to say.
talk. Oh, okay.
I don't know how many of you watched the last James Bond movie, but at the very end, well, he dies in the movie. If you haven't seen it,
Really?
at the very end. Sorry, Patrick. At the very end, there is a sort of a eulogy, and the quote kind of stuck with me, and it has to do with time. In the quote, he said that man is meant to live, not to exist. Don't spend your days trying to gain more days, to live your time. So in the end, what I found is the word time, it was also crucial to me. And I focus on the word time here because yes, our time is valuable, and those that surround us must appreciate that time. So in that sense, I commend Noel that the focus of your time as being valuable is important.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick. I'm so glad you mentioned the time aspect. I was gonna say, well, it's not just women, right? It's also people you surround yourself with, right? I mean,
Correct.
I think that statement, it's actually, if anything else, right, it's the linchpin to everything that you are. It's basically the fact that you're aware of your time is not a replenishable resource, right? So it's like, why waste it on bad investment? You know what I mean? Because you and I talked about this when you were here,
Right.
Noel, right? So yeah, so I think that's key.
Yep. Thank you, Pat.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Wise words. I like, don't waste it on bad investment. I was down in Pembroke Pines, met some people for lunch, and all the different benches were painted by different artists. And
cool.
there's a saying, which I looked it up. I didn't realize it was Dr. Seuss's saying. And now I got to look it up in my Facebook so I can like read it correctly. But it says, don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. So, every moment's precious. We all have, ups and downs, but even with the downs, be happy that it happened, because you experienced it. And, we're all still here. So we've never not survived a bad day.
Correct. Totally agree with you.
Thank you, guys. And well, let's put a little bit aside your mission statement just for a brief moment, okay? Noel,
Okay.
right now we will talk about all what we are learning. What is the main approach of Mr. Covey? We went through 3 habits. What is the main approach? Basically, we went through private victory. Private victory, it's about us. What is the main approach for that? Who can tell me? Okay, I'll help you guys, because it's not that you don't know, it's a lot of information and you maybe don't know what I refer. Inside out approach. Do you remember about that? Inside out approach. What does it mean, inside out approach? Inside out approach, Brian.
To focus on building yourself and your circle of influence, rather than worrying about the circle of concern. So for sort of focusing on doing, doing the thing, being proactive and building what you can do.
Thank you. Thank you. Agree. Let's now look at the statement there. Women who don't appreciate my time. It's basically women are lacking of something, right? So if I see that women don't appreciate my time, it means I appreciate my time. It's basically said I am good and they are not good. So it means they need to be changed in order that they would be appreciate my time. So this seems to me not inside out approach. Maybe something just to think how Mr. Covey is saying what I am doing wrong, why I am attracting those women. And I would like to be able to find the ideal woman. Then the question right away, are you ideal? What kind of ideal woman you want to find? There is some story came into my mind. I've heard a little while ago. In one village was a very handsome man, very rich, very successful. And he was 20, turned 30, turned 40, and he didn't get married. And the whole village was surprising. So he's handsome, he's rich, he's very educated. So what's wrong? So no, little while they stopped to be worried about it and they forgot. So man turned 80 and he still didn't get married. And when he was dying, all village come to him and they had only one question. Hey, tell us why you didn't marry, because you're handsome, you're rich, you're educated. And he said, I was looking for my ideal woman. And you didn't find her? Look how many women around. And he told, I found her. And they couldn't understand at all. And they said, then why you didn't marry her? And he said, because she was looking for her ideal man. So this is a story, very actually interesting, but do you know what I want to add else? Guys, we have, in order to move ahead, we must to be honest with yourself. But I want to tell you, this is the most difficult thing in the world. I can guarantee you, I'm searching for all my life for that. If something is going wrong, and especially repeatedly, it's you doing something wrong. If I have some problem with something, and of course I can say, that man doesn't value me, that he's somebody else, the other man doesn't appreciate me, doesn't value my time, doesn't, whatever. But I do something wrong, because when people are going toward each other, if they are usually do not match each other, they don't create the interest and they softly go apart right away. But if they go into relationship, for example, if women went into relationship with who was saying with this, they were spending their time too. They didn't come, okay, let me come to this handsome man, rich man, pretty educated, knowledgeable woman, and I will spend his time. I will do it on purpose. No, they were spending their time as well. So this is my opinion, guys. It would be very shallow of us if we will say, yes, great, kick all those women before and future, kick them out of your life. But what we will learn from here, if we are sitting and the 11 meetings, we are talking about inside-out approach. Richard?
Let's hopefully I get this straight. I know you mentioned this once before, that something about what Mother Teresa said. If maybe she said it differently, but I understood that if you want to change the world, start with yourself.
Yeah.
And what I recall is, along with that, is the inside-out approach is applicable. So you showed an iceberg where the tip is showing outside the water, but underneath that, there's a large portion which is inside ourselves that has to be straight, that has to be correct. And we should be the people that we want to attract. We can't just say, you must accept me the way I am. And if you don't, then see it. But perhaps, yeah, as you said, maybe we're not the person that someone wants to be attracted to. So there's changes that could be made from within ourselves as well.
Yes, thank you, Richard. And it's actually very important, guys. If we won't get the base, the foundation of 3 habits of a private victory, or just listen, please, private victory, we won't be able to go into next habit. We are just, we didn't pass the exam. If we don't see that everything what we did, it's our own creation. If we don't get it, I can offer to you, let's go from the beginning. We didn't get it. And I warned you and I told you it's very difficult. It's very painful. It's grow in us. And it's like, it's like take from yourself and rip it off to say yourself, yes, this is me. Yes, this is I'm doing something wrong. But see, something wrong. How can we figure out what we do wrong? And this is only, Noel, I can tell by you, what you suggested in the beginning of all our meetings. If we don't know what we are doing wrong, find a mentor. There is no other way around. What let's do, because it really doesn't mean Noel had the braveness and strength to put it on the mission statement. So we really need to applaud to him, because it looks like we are sitting here, everything, yes, we are sitting here, everything is great, we are all great, but what Noel has some problems. No, it's not that. We all have problems. Let's think. Can you give one thing in your life which, for example, you are unhappy with or you want to improve? And it doesn't matter. For example, it can be a relationship, it can be work, it can be friendship, it can be parenting issues, which you all don't know why. You put everything, but you just don't know, it doesn't work the way how you want. Or it's something you are wanting work and it doesn't get to you. Or some friendship, some people turn away. Or for example, your spouse react not how you want. Please think and let's give one point to right now. Yes, Patrick, please.
So I'm gonna basically piggyback on what Noel's thing about ideal women, right? But I'm gonna relate it to parenting. We have a teenage boy, right, adopted, and I consider myself pretty good communicator, and I say, I could connect with anybody, even like a little kid, right? Boy, I am very wrong. uh, and and it's not because that he's doing something wrong. It's because I don't understand what he's doing, and I consider myself, I can learn stuff, right? Yeah, no. So the idea that in my head 13 years ago, it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be like this ideal parent. I'm gonna teach him everything. He'll know everything. He's the smartest kid in the world. He's gonna be very, awesome. Yeah, there are days not so much. So that just, and I think it just, I think it's these moments that you kind of have to think like, okay, down to earth, what are the one and two things that I can do to improve myself to be in a better position?
And what would you do? What you have an issue? What would you do?
Well, I mean, in my mission statement, I mentioned like being patient, right? Being patient and having the kindness to really truly understand what is not being said, right? And also have the ability to basically, even though I'm not in the person's shoes, but in his shoes, right? But I have to understand, like, okay, you know what? I can't relate, but I kind of have to expect that that's important to him, and so therefore I'm going to support that. As obviously within an ethical framework, right? So
thank you, Patrick.
That's what I'm doing.
Yes, and educate. If we have any problem, we need to educate ourselves. What is going on? It's books, it's some inspirational speakers, it's join some group for your issue, it's read books, it's religion, it's mentor, so many things at our hands. Brian, please.
Patrick, have you? So I'm just mentioning this because it's in Covey's book. Have you considered writing or trying to do a family mission statement?
He's doing, Brian, he's doing with his son, right, Patrick? For teens, he posted it. Yeah, it's a great idea.
A
It's
family
wonderful.
mission statement.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Thank you, Brian.
Okay.
Oh, even you mean family mission statement?
Yeah, a family mission statement. Because
Okay.
I know Covey talks about that a bit. He talks about like not only doing a personal mission statement, but trying to write a family mission statement. I guess I was just kind of wondering if he'd consider, if Patrick.
Yeah, we do have a family mission statement, right? And one thing that we try to do is basically review that, on every 2 weeks or so. However, it is not as active as like, for example, I have a personal mission statement, my wife does, right? I'm trying to get my kid to do his own, and basically we could all kind of talk together about it and then feed it into the family mission statement. But again, right, it's not a well-oiled machine, I can tell you that, right? It's very sloppy, right? And it's rightly so, because we're dealing with human beings and human beings are sloppy, right? So that's just how it is. But that, I'm so glad you mentioned that, Brian, because it circles back to, and I want to basically throw it out there for Noel to think about. Is like, the term ideal woman is very generalized, right? So you need to pin down, like, maybe 3 to 5 qualities that really that's kind of fit, that fit your, your own personal private internal victory, what it is. It's like, I guess in Habit 2, where the architect, right, you got to think about, like, what is it that you're looking for. So, but yeah, that's a great reminder. Thanks, Brian.
Well, I know in that mind, Patrick, I was sort of thinking along those same lines about writing, trying to come up with a list or whatever about setting what I'm talking now to Noel, I guess, but trying to define what your personal values, what personal values are most important, and that might help you figure out, like, who you're looking for. What really matters. I mean, those are tough questions to ask. What really matters to you personally? What do you really want? In line with what Patrick said about, trying to who you want to choose.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah, for some cases, thank you. Of course, we are sharing opinion. I think Noel actually knows what he wants. I do believe this needs to, how Mr. Covey said,
I know what I want. I know what I
yes.
want, and I've also written it down several times. Several times in practically every book that I have. Because supposedly it says they say that usually when you write the ideal stuff, the ideal things you want in a book, down to the last detail, that ideal person will step into your life.
Then mentor, because it's not it's just impossible, practically impossible to see from yourself what we are doing. So it will be the next proactive step, instead of to kicking all those women for the future out of your life. Brian, can we move ahead? Can we move ahead, because it's 40 minutes and we are still discussing the first sentence. So let's move ahead, guys. So as for my health, I've experienced what my body can actually handle. 10 days later, I feel so good with so much energy. Thank you, Patrick, for that. Thank you, Patrick. And I really don't want to go back to how I felt 10 days ago. I think I actually needed this for myself to remove all that intoxication I had in my body. I will definitely take a vegetation approach and see how that goes. So it's good. I would want to see here. So far, this is a nice sentences to chat with somebody else. This is not a mission statement. Mission statement, let's do like this. As for my health, what you actually want to do? This is called brainstorming, and probably you were busy when you were writing it. It's from that brainstorming, it's whatever is going into mind you are writing, and then you're doing. For example, as for health, I want to be, I take a vegetarian approach. How many times per week? I will be fully vegetarian 1-2 days per week. Then what I want to get remove intoxication. What do you want to do for that? I'm traveling a lot. How can I eat healthy? Make a plan what you will do for that. Because if do not after this, you will read, you can read it every day and do nothing. We are looking for steps, every single day step. So today I won't go and won't eat that junk, for example, what I ate yesterday. I will stop buying the junk. I love it, but for example, less. I will buy 2 times per day. What I will eat, make a plan, detailed plan. As for my religion, I have to reevaluate that. Originally, I was taking a different approach 2 months ago. Though I had a calling for something, but after this last 10 days with no food, there will be a lot of changes. And again, we need to see steps. And it's actually will be even easy for you now. You will open your mission statement and you will know what you are planning to do. What do you want to do? Okay, I was calling for something. I will read the Christianity. I will start to read Bible every day, 15 minutes. Or I will read the Veda. I will read Muslim, whatever. I don't know what you want. Or I will go to spirituality. I don't need it. So something steps exact what you want to do. As for my career, I am financially stable. Recently, I just reinvest in some more money to expand, and I cannot wait for all the changes that are about to take place in my industry. And this is the same. Whatever you did, it's done. No, we don't need to put in a mission statement. Mission statement is what you want to do in order to be better. You did it, wonderful. You're financially stable, excellent. So now you cannot wait. It's also good, but what will you do? In 1 month, in 2 months, I will reinvest. For that, my growth will be that. I planned that. So some steps which you will see. As for my finances, I'm great at saving, but not the best at managing. Definitely have to work on that. What will I do for that? I will join a group of people who great at saving. I will read a book, how to save money. As for my education, I need to look into some accounting so that I can learn on managing my money. I finished, not finished, I was probably a couple of years at accounting. I don't think so they are teaching on saving money, Noel. They are teaching how to count money, but really they don't teach how to save money. It's just pure my opinion. If somebody accountant here, please correct me, but it's what I know. Let me tell you a joke. It's a Russian comic, Rykin. He was saying, guys, my wife is a specialist in the field of economic sciences. Every month, she is earning $1,000 and $2,000 she is putting on saving. So if you want to graduate like that, it's good luck. But I don't know why I remember that personal. I love the joke. Brian, you wanted to say something.
I was just going to say, I think you're right. I mean, finances and stuff are not really the purview of accounting as such. But if you want to learn about finances, that would be where you'd want to talk to. So like a financial advisor, definitely more so than accounting.
Or even easier, how I see, he is meaning based on managing. So it means he can spend on some impulsive what he purchasing. So this is more psychologically how I see. So this is up. taking an app. I used this app. It's very nice, and you see where you are spending, and it can help you to organize and make a statement that I won't spend more, but then that. But we need to see it. When it's out of air, it's very difficult. But when you see on the paper, and serious, there is some groups who are discussing that. There is so many books. There's many. I think he's smart, educated guy. He can handle it just by himself. Richard, please.
Yes, Lena, that's what I was about to say. And it can be as simple as writing it down on a piece of paper and doing a little math and determining what is called a budget, and set your budget, and then try to live by it. And if you can live by it, it's a success. And that same budgets pertain to any kind of endeavor. You go into a business, you're going to need a budget as well,
Yes.
increasing sales and so on. But budgeting and maintaining budgets is part of the financial process.
Yeah, very, very good, Eugene. Thank you so much. As for my family, I think we know that this would be very the same like we started, like Noel started. It's all about those women, the same women, because become available emotionally, spiritually, and ready to start a family, and knows how to separate her business from her relationship. So a little bit to me, it's a lot of already requirements to women, a lot of claims to women. What would it be nice if, for example, you would say about yourself that something and welcome to women. So this is my personal approach, but we are here, guys, to learn inside out approach. It's only what I can say. Okay, Noel, did you survive?
I did. I survived. Survived the new year.
Thank you so much. And we can, if, for example, you would like to add something, change something, we can discuss it again. If you think that it's what you want, that is absolutely fine. We just gave our feedback. Thank you so much. This I want to share with you. I will share with you some wisdom. Before anything can come into being, there must be somebody to whom it comes. So this is from enlightened person, and see how it's interconnected with the Mr. Covey approach. There must be somebody to whom it comes. So whatever who we are, it comes to us. And who is sending it? It's God doing that. We think that everything we are doing, but how can we do, guys, if we even have we don't control our eating, our digestion, we don't control our sleeping, we don't control our thoughts, we don't control our breathing. Just remember, we talked recently how we are making children, right? What a big deal from us. But child is starting to grow by itself. Everything is going by itself, and we accepted it as a granted. And we look, oh, I'm doing it. We are doing, we have free will, but we were created by God, and God is doing much more than we are. So our job not don't do nothing. Our job to be ready to be somebody, and then when we are somebody, that will come to us. No, this is from enlightened approach, but how it relates to Mr. Covey approach inside out. Okay, we are done with it. Guys, I really want to briefly remind you that we finished private victory. We finished the 3 habits, and that is the foundation. And right now we are going to public victory. But again, if we didn't get it, if we didn't get inside out approach, it will be a mess in our paradigm and our public victory. Because what? We will still think that somebody else is fault. If we don't take responsibility for ourselves, we are not ready to go into independent living or interdependent relationship. Just please remember about it and start to take, and remember that it's painful. Remember that it's difficult, but we just must. If not, it's also an option, but we still be there where we are right now. And maybe it's not a bad position, right? But we are here, why? We are here to get better. Then start to be hard on yourself. Start to be honest with yourself. We were talking about emotional bank account, right? You all remember that we need to put into our account, our relationship as a deposit, and put it constantly. It doesn't mean if we put 10 years ago, it's still there. It evaporates, unfortunately. And if we using dishonesty in all these things which are mentioning, so we are doing withdrawals. Remember that there is some automatic withdrawals which we have no idea. So just remember, put, and put. We were talking about bonding experience. Do you remember when our tendency to project out our own autobiographies, and we think that the other people need that or want that. No, stop doing that regardless. Just stop doing that. It's absolutely useless. And we started to talk about 6 major deposits. Do you remember? And we went through the first, so understanding individual, it's one of the greatest and one of the most important, because if we won't understand the other, we will just go to our own direction, and we will be proactive, we will be effective, we will be kind, we will be whatever. But guys, we're just going to the other direction. So please remember that if we don't understand what person needs, we put our time and effort for nothing. We were talking about bonding experience. I thought I talked already about it. So, and we went through 2 proverbs, and I offer you the last what I know. Treat the others as they would want to be treated. To me, this is a deeper approach. And finally, guys, we are going to the new topic, and the next investment into 6 major investment, 6 major deposit. This is, you see, number 2, it's attending the little things. And what is that the little kindness, the courtesies are very important. Small discourtesies, small unkindness, little forms of disrespect make a large withdrawals. In a relationship, the little things are the big things. And usually we are doing opposite. We talk already about it. We are very kind to stranger. We won't talk that we're on preparing. We're spending our time, we having shower, making makeup, hairstyle, dressed up, and we are going to people who we never seen. We don't know who they are, and we will never see them again. Why? Because we want to please them, that they would look at us and they would be happy. Actually, Mr. Covey believed that people are very tender and very sensitive inside, and he actually doesn't believe that age, experience make much difference. What this I need to learn. This is can say about my weakness. I'm Russian, and in my culture, I'm very straight. And because I believe I gracefully accept critique. I don't afraid of it at all, because I believe that I grew from it, but it doesn't mean that the other people think the same. And of course, with my bold straightness, I can hurt people. So this is a lesson for me from Mr. Covey. Thank you, Mr. Covey. So, but you see, guys, develop family kindness is wonderful, but we don't live only in families, right? We have something else. So where can we extend our kindness? Or we just need to create kindness in family and done? Of course not, right? I don't need to ask this simple question, but let's see. We can extend it. What, for example, you can see this is complete stranger. This is complete stranger. So we really can be kind to stranger. But of course, the family is first, right? So you can see upper that they're cleaning the nature. It's also a little kindness, little thing of kindness, right? And then I just couldn't don't put this picture of a little boy and girl in the middle. They are so precious. Just look, guys, the beauty. Look how a little boy, how he's muscular. He's already responsible. Look at this little pretty girl. She's scared and she's so feminine. Guys, this is the beauty. This is a beautiful, beautiful picture of reality, what God created us, that man is a protector, man is a defender, and the woman should be gentle, beautiful, and beautiful. Okay. So any else we can extend our kindness? Yes, we can extend our kindness to animals, right? Look at that. Look at their eyes. Look at their beautiful eyes. Their eyes are happy. Look at this. He's almost smiling. Look at this little pretty cutie, right? And even people, they're wonderful. They're happy. So, and do you know that we kind of know only animals, home animals, but farm animals have a complex vocabularies. Who would know? Let me move this. Who would know? Just look at this picture. The chicken can talk to each other, and they have more than 30 different vocalization. And they even don't know what they're doing. What this chicken who is sitting, she's choosing a rooster. And if she doesn't like a rooster, she won't let him in. And look at them. They're like a couple. Look at the bottom, how she wants to tell him something. Look at this hen. She is talking to her baby, and they are starting to talk while baby in the egg. And they are answering, pick, 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 and they are answering to each other. They can show empathy toward each other. Then hence also they worry when their chicken, the babies in danger, and they try to protect them, you know. Oh, look at this cow. Who would believe that they can solve some logic complexity, and when they solve it, they're so happy that they're jumping and waving their tails. Who would know that? They know that they also have impressive memories, and it's everything. It's not from just all over internet. It's from an institute in Cambridge. They were studying animals. Do know that sheep, they are able to memorize 50 faces, and they are even able to remember them after years of do not seeing them. But on the bottom, you can see that they remember. And the cows actually then can cry. If they separated with babies, they are crying. They have literal tears. They are crying days and days until they finally actually They forget because they're animals. And I don't know. I'll skip. At first I skip a movie. It's even 5 minutes movie, but let me just tell you that pigs are one of the most intelligent species on the planet. They are like elephants and dolphins, and they learn faster than pigs. And their intelligence is equal to 3-year-old child. So I will post on the message board. Let's don't spend time because I want to finish. And it was a BBC scientific movie where they make a scientific experiment, and they compare a pig who were recognized much faster than our children. And also they can play video games, and they can trick their friends. For example, if they know where the food, they don't want to bring them there. They are bringing specially to the other place, and while they leave them there and run and eat the food. And one more interesting fact, what I remember right now accidentally, don't know why they are so greedy for food. We have 6 tastes, like sour, sweet, right? So we have 6 tastes in our mouth. They have 1 for it. Can you imagine? And one thing, we are all adults. They have orgasm of almost half an hour. So they are living pretty interesting lives. And now it's a difficult picture, but I couldn't avoid it. And it's what we are doing to them. It's what we are doing to 3 years, the animals who are smarter than dogs. So, and do you see, and it's not the worst pictures. I just couldn't put the worst picture here. And do you see what this intelligent animal doesn't know what is going on? Do you think he doesn't know? This is complete, of course, horror. This is a crying cow. So do you see the energy from this picture? What it was before? Just see the energy. Just see the energy from here, how happy they are. And see here, look in their eyes. It's like it's going that road to slaughterhouse. They exactly know what is going on. Why we are doing that? Of course, we are not doing that, but we are customers. We order, and somebody is doing that for us. What can we do? Let me remove this picture. I can't. What can we do? Of course, I don't ask you to take a transparent and go on the street, but Noel said he wants to be a little bit vegetarian. Why, if we will do once a week, 2 days a week being a vegetarian, by that we can save lives of this animal who have all rights to enjoy their lives. Why, for example, can't we go and grocery stores and buy only free-range meat, free-range eggs? Can we go to farm and see how the animals are treated there? And if we like it, just buy and support our local producers. It's these little things. So Mr. Covey said, little things. This is little things what we can do. And can you imagine if 10, 20, 30 people will be twice a week vegetarian? It's actually healthy. It's actually even healthy for us. We can save so many animals. The less we are ordering, the less they're killed. For example, this is my reason. I'm vegetarian. And vegetarian, I'm only by this reason. I simply don't eat what can run from me. And how can I kill and torture those animals who are just less in intelligence? Let's imagine somebody from different universe will come and they start select us because we are obviously we can be less intelligent than somebody else. This is what Leo Tolstoy said. A man can live and be healthy without killing animals for food. Therefore, if he eats meat, he participates in taking animal life merely for the sake of his appetite. And to act so is immoral. I will leave that just for you guys. And the last thing, on November 19, 2019, the UN proposed and passed the first resolution recognizing animal rights. Can you imagine, just in 2019, which acknowledges the importance and sentience of animals and human responsibilities toward them. Human responsibilities, yes, God said us that we are dominate above the animals, but he didn't say to us be cruel to animals. Dominate, it means lead. And we had a couple of leaders like Stalin and Hitler, right? They exactly was doing that. So let's don't be like that and let's do what we can, little thing. And this is 32 countries have formally recognized non-human animal sentience, and unfortunately, there is neither America nor Russia, unfortunately. So it's very, very different. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I was emotionally very, very difficult was for me to do that. Thank you for your patience, but I was thinking that I cannot avoid. I cannot avoid that. And let's move ahead. So, Violeta, please.
Thank you, Lina, for sharing that. I'm a vegetarian as well.
And what's the reason?
The reason is exactly the same with the animals. Number one, I've seen all of the videos, how they are treated. And the second reason is my health. I feel so much more healthier. I feel so much more energetic, productive, and I don't watch anymore what I eat. Even if I eat a little bit of a junk, but my body is so healthier that I don't gain weight and I don't lose weight. I just stay the same body. I actually started to feel comfortable within my own body like I've never felt more comfortable. Before vegetarian, I've had a little bit extra weight, which was okay. I looked still good, but it wasn't that comfort of my own body. I started feeling very comfortable after I became vegetarian.
Thank you, Violeta. Thank you so much for sharing that. There is a big myth is going that, oh, you're vegetarian. Oh, you probably can be sick very soon, or if not right now, to very, 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 very soon. No, it's absolutely not. I really don't want to start the discussion. It's about our teeth. Our teeth not as for animals. It's about the length of our guts. Animals who are eating carnivore, their length is much shorter, and our length of our gut is much bigger, and it's not for meat. So let's don't go into that. I can only support what you said, and I can tell that the vegetarian diet is healthy and low. How Leo Tolstoy said that we can live a completely healthy life without killing. Or if we cannot avoid that, we can put our effort to support local farm where animals are treated in a human way.
There's one more thing I want to add. Before becoming vegetarian, I was thinking, oh, what am I going to eat? There's nothing to eat. Am I going to eat like grass pretty much? But I did learn how to cook vegetarian, and we just need to learn because it's a very tasty food. We just need to learn something new to cook without meat.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, guys, let's move ahead. Move ahead. So we are on 6 major deposits, and we are going through number 3, keeping commitments. Keeping a commitment or a promise is a major deposit. Breaking one is a major withdrawal. In fact, Mr. Covey thinks that it's a very, very big deal, because if we promised and they didn't do it, next time nobody will to believe us. Also, he warned, do not go into the extreme, like if said, he doesn't matter, he will go on the heads of someone, he will doing something which is already irrelevant. Oh, I promise. No, don't go into that extreme. Think carefully before, how Richard is telling all the time. I'm thinking very carefully before I give a promise, and good for you. I support and respect you for that. However, there is, guys, some can be variation in life, some contingencies, as you cannot do it, or it would be already irrelevant or even harmful. So just then apologize. Apologize and explain. Don't assume that people forget about it, or you just messed up and whatever. So just apologize but keep your commitments. Clarify number 4, clarifying expectation. Imagine the difficulty you might encounter if you and your boss has different assumption regarding whose role it was to create your job description. It's a Covey example. For example, your boss is asking, when am I going to get my job description? Actually, I'm asking. And boss is saying, I've been waiting for you to bring one to me so that we could discuss it. Your boss might reply, I thought defining my job was your role. That was not my role at all. Don't you remember? Right from the first, I said that how you do in the job largely depends on you. I thought you mean that the quality of my job depends on me, and so on and so on. So clarifying expectation, it's a big deal, because unclear expectation, it's also undermine the trust and the equal withdrawal. Yes, Richard, please.
So sometimes when we go to a restaurant and we place an order with the waitress, they occasionally will repeat the order back to you to make sure that the expectations are the same. And generally that's going to work out well. But imagine if they don't repeat your order back to you, and then you get the wrong thing because they neglected to solidify the expectation. Then there's an argument that might come up. Certainly the tip is going to suffer. But imagine if we could do that with everything in life, just to clear expectations between two people, and that would resolve many of our arguments.
And we will talk about it right after your suggestion. So this is a little example again. You can probably have heard it many times. You said, no, you are wrong. I said, no, you did it. I didn't. Or yes, I clearly said. You never even mentioned. So this is the cause, how Richard said, of almost, Mr. Covey saying, almost all relationship difficulties is rooted in here. Whether we are dealing who is doing that work, who is taking the garbage, who is cleaning the room, who is feeding the fish, right? Just clear, say, you are doing that. I'm doing this. However, this is, I think it's clear to everyone, right? But please do it. It's clear to us, but it's not necessarily we are doing that, because it actually takes a little bit braveness to say that. It's much easier to, okay, I assume he's smart. He will do that. It's unless you talk to yourself, you quiet yourself and you're going, and then when it's didn't happen, you will be, I mean, I will be frustrated. So maybe, but it needs to effort and braveness to say, dear, this, can you do this, can I expect what? And this is this situation. But the most even difficult situation, that many expectations are implicit. They even never been announced or stated, but people still bring them to particular situation and hope that they will be fulfilled by somebody. Because why? Because I love him and he needs to guess what is in my mind. He needs to guess what I want. So it's called just a hidden expectation, which we never said before. And Mr. Covey is saying that clarifying expectations sometimes take a good deal of courage. It's what I was talking about. It seems easier to act as though differences don't exist and to hope things will work. Tell me the truth right away, or instead of yourself, think a little bit about it. Do we have that? Do we have this sin? It's easier to act as though differences don't exist, right? Yes, I am. I can say that I can do that. And if we will go ahead, I would ask you about interesting example. How's about marriage? Did you have any questions to your future half? Or how we fell in love, and only one question we are asking, do you love me? Yes, I love you. Yes, go, let's go married. And the problems will happen after, right? What is, we are kind of source of proactivity. Do you know, and in fact, we wouldn't be opening on you something. It's exist long time ago. To know that there is 10 questions, 100 questions, 200 questions to ask before marriage. What it would be a great idea. This is just a little example. I just found what will fit here, because we really don't need to go through that. It's just an idea that what we need to ask. It's ask fundamental core. What is your spiritual belief? Yes, don't know. We don't care when we're in love, right? And then it's happened. Will you be able to change? Are you open to some changes? Marriage role, where we will live, what kind of leadership means in concern. Who will be the leadership? Me or you? Finances. What are our financial goals? How we will do our budget? Home, where we will live. I know when we love it, we don't care where we will live. The most important that we would be together, but after that, it's seen. Who will clean the home? Who will make the meal? Who will take the garbage? Guys, and it's fun to do that. And it's how Mr. Covey, we will avoid the problems in the future, but we have implicit, hidden expectation. He loves me. He will do that for me. That men have no idea what you want. But guys, you're too. You also expect from women, and also keep silence. So start to be open. And number 5 from our 6 major deposits, it showing personal integrity. Personal integrity generates trust. And it's the basis of many different kinds of deposit. And lack of integrity can undermine even a very strong trust account. And we talk already, Richard said the beautiful definition of integrity. Integrity includes, but goes beyond honesty. Because honesty is just telling the truth. Our integrity is keeping promises and fulfilling expectation. Mr. Covey thinks that under showing personal integrity, be loyal to those who are not present, one of the most important way to manifest integrity. And while we are doing that, we build trust to those who are present. And I think you understand that. But let's talk about more. So it's he is meaning don't criticize behind the back. What do you think about it? Brian?
Actually, you know, I think that's a very subtle, a very interesting observation. You know, I don't think I ever would have thought of it like that. You know, that you know, it's like doing that is a good way to, you know, sort of not criticizing someone behind their back. It's like that's, you know, really a way of not only is it about the person you'd be criticizing, but it's the people who are listening. And I'm quite impressed with that. I think that's a very good observation.
Thank you. Richard?
Yes, if we criticize someone who's not present, the person who's listening might think to themselves, would this person do the same thing to me when I'm not here? And in that sense, you lose a significant amount of trust.
Beautiful lady. Noel?
I think you know criticizing, also talking behind people's back like that just makes you look weak in front of the person that you're with, because they figured, you know, if you're gonna talk bad about others when they're not present, what are you gonna say about them when they're not present?
Right. Good adding. Thank you, guys. So what is Mr. Covey offered two examples. First example, yes, if we are criticizing behind the back of the person, and if we don't have any strengths to tell what we are talking behind, if we don't have any strengths to tell in his face, then it's a really bad thing. But at the same moment, he offered a different example. So two guys who were criticizing, but at the same moment, they made a plan, put on the list of plan of improvement. Not of the person, it was a work situation, and they criticize their manager for doing something wrong, and they proposed him a plan how to improve that. So this is a different way of criticizing. This is criticizing not for criticizing. What do you see the difference? If we are criticizing for criticizing, then it's bad. But if we are criticizing for improvement, and we are able to tell that person who we're criticizing what we are talking about, this is a different situation. This is for improvement, and without discussing it, we will just then keep silence and saying only good things, and from that we won't be better. Noel went today through a big thing, and if we would keep silence, how we can be improved, guys. Richard?
Yeah, so is there a difference between criticizing actions and criticizing the person? And so we're even though Leo Tolstoy is not here, we're free to criticize his writings, but would it be proper for us to criticize him as a man? So there's a might be a difference there.
Beautiful. So you are putting the way to our next. So then let's discuss. If you are asking, so what is criticism? Let me help, guys. I was looking for that. For me, it's easier. Criticism, the expression of disapproval of someone, right? Or something based on perceived faults or mistakes. Okay. So does it criticizing that bad? Based on perceived faults or mistakes? Let's figure out how we know that criticism is universal, right? Painful, but experience. And being criticized fit into our insecurities. However, this unpleasant experience leads us to growth and learning. Is it related to what we were talking about it before? Is it related inside-out approach? If we hear something criticizing, we try to cut off. We say right away, you're bad if you're criticizing. Is it that? No, let's look here. Who can read quickly? Because my reading is pretty slow. Please help. Guys, this is very interesting material. This is from my psychological class. This is 30 possible reasons to criticize. Who can read quickly?
I'll do it.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah,
Richard,
so,
Patrick, that's it. Mhm.
Okay. So they're threatened by your, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
They're threatened by your competence. They have a concern about your performance or contribution. They feel that you're not doing your share of the work or being a team player. They have a strong unmet need that is not being satisfied. They have a controlling personality and has to be in charge. They feel entitled to special treatment or status and do not feel that they're receiving it. They want to make you look bad to their advance. They feel insecure. They think you are making them look bad in front of others. They feel criticized by you and are counter-attacking. They think that they are genuinely helping you by giving you their wisdom or experience. They have strong opinions on the subject and see other points of view as less valid. They are trying to get your attention and connect with you, but lack skill. So they end up whining. They're testing your limits. They are competing with you for the status or position. They see themselves as an expert on the subject. They are frustrated with you because they don't feel you have been hearing them or responding to their requests. They're trying to put their own spin on the situation to make them look good or minimize their bad behavior. They are settling limits on your disrespectful, inconsistent behavior. They want you to understand how your actions are hurting or disadvantaging them. They are trying to bully or intimidate you so that they can feel powerful. They are defending their own actions by pointing out that you also did something wrong. They lack social skills and are delivering well-meant feedback unskillfully. They want to feel important and respected. They are covering up hurt feelings with anger. They are a narcissist and they can't handle you. They can't handle your confronting them or not going along with them. They have a problem they don't want to deal or are trying to get you to back off. They feel you are acting unfairly and taking advantage. They have different values and perspective than you and are judging you. They are trying to shame or humiliate you, perhaps as a revenge or power play. I feel like I'm reading a list from Washington, D.C. Is this from D.C.? I'm kidding.
Thank you, Patrick. Noel, did you want to say something? No, he probably didn't lower him. So guys, do you see that this is two different colors, white and black? And most of the reasons listed here are doing with critique's own agenda. But some may be the result of your behavior. Or it's their unskillful attempt to connect with you. So this is three reasons. It's their own agenda, your actually behavior, and they want to connect with you, but they don't know how. So this is critique. It's surprisingly critique. And we accepting it right away negatively. Stop doing that because you are bad. And the most interesting fact that when partners or spouses criticize each other, usually they feel hurt, rejected, or not important. And the best, especially for spouse, to understand the critique agenda. Of course, it doesn't mean that you need now to like accept it all the time and be happy. We need to distinguish, and we will talk about it, for example, like put boundary right away to competitor or bully. But if, for example, if your spouse or close people just try to see, put in his shoes yourself, try to see maybe really something you did, just try to listen. We have already listening maturity skills, right? Try to understand. Each person can say something, something good. And what is the common traps? It's criticism, trigger, flight, fight, or freeze response. You probably have heard it from school, right? So what does it mean? And thus our first reaction is mostly likely to feel blindsided, to run away, and avoid the conflict. Or we try to prove that we are right without listening the other person, or to counterattack. And none of these responses are particularly effective. So just when we are dealing with criticism, take our proactivity gap, a deep breath, and just try to listen. It's not hurt us to listen, but we need to decide, is person have some value in what he's saying or not? And if we want to be proactive, we actually should be higher than, emotionally higher. What does mean emotionally higher? So to keep yourself in your hand and to listen, because if we turn fight, flight, or freeze response, none, it's done. The conversation is done. Richard, please.
I had an interesting experience with the gap between stimulant and response, in that the purpose of the gap is more well defined when you use it correctly. So if you use that gap to continue to enhance your point of view, then the response will still be the same as if you didn't have a gap. But if you use that gap to change your paradigm, to shift your thinking to a different point of view, then your response will be more in line with the conversation and may actually achieve something positive.
Beautiful, Edin. And it depends from which position person is it. For example, if person independent level and he tries to only prove his opinion, of course she can use proactivity gap to push yourself. But we are here to improve ourselves. So what's the point to push your opinion if we already know that it's not our level where we want to be? We want to be at the third level, an interdependent level. So your agent is great, and I hope that is not for us. So the final point that here opinions of others are important, but we don't need to depend from them. Why are we so afraid that critique? Why are we so afraid that people would say something about us? Do you remember on one meeting we were talking and we were sharing our fears, and the main fear was people that they don't think that I'm stupid. Do you know who can say that you're stupid? The person who never did something, who is laid down on sofa in front of the TV and didn't do a thing. For example, example with that bike again. If a person who rides a bike, he knows that in order to learn, he was falling a couple of times, right? Will he laugh, for example, if he will you and you start to ride a bike, will he laugh? Of course not, because he was the same. Who will laugh? Who never ride a bike? Do we really need to depend from that person's opinion? Do we really care about his opinion, which is, we know, opinion person who didn't try, never tried, that he will love. A person who tried, he know that we are going, everything is going. When we started, we are like a first grade. When we write, do you remember? We couldn't write right away very beautifully. We need to learn. So stop to afraid of any critique. And I learned 20 years ago that every critique is a free psychological advice. Done. I can accept any critique because in every critique, even crazy critique, there is a little truth. You can imagine if I'm nice, if I'm so wonderful, and somebody is telling to me, Lina, you're boldly straightful, you offended me. It's impossible. So in every critique, there is a couple of a piece of truth. Guys, it's 38 minutes. We have a couple of slides. Would you like to continue or would you like to finish? Okay.
Continue.
Yeah, I would vote for continue.
Okay, let's continue. And what is next? And we are already at fifth from 6 deposits. So we are we are going pretty good, and it would be much faster. So avoiding deception, I don't think so that we need to comment it. And apologizing sincerely. Yes, this is a big deal. We can say, yeah, I'm sorry, bye. Or, of course, we need to put our sincere, that person would feel that I was wrong, it was unkind of me, I showed you no respect. What interesting, Mr. Covey gave apologizing so deep. Ivan couldn't write them. I think, so strong apologizing. It depends from the level of trust. For example, if trust is high, you really don't need a high apology. For example, in my case, we just can say, I'm sorry. Nicely, but I'm sorry. And it's completely enough. We don't need to go into deep. But if the level of trust is low, yes, then you will need deeper apology in order to fulfill person frustration. Yes, Richard.
I actually saw a YouTube video on how to apologize, and it goes into a few more steps, including recognizing the discomfort or problem that the other person is expressing, and ending it with a apology, and then also going to how to what are you going to do in the future, or and so on. So it was an interesting video. Just wanted to mention.
Yes, it's been interesting. I agree. Thank you for the aging. I just don't want that we would stuck on it, because if you like something, for example, so first you need to apologize, then you need to accept, and you need to go in there and there. It will become as a frame, and we will start to demand it from other people. Every situation is different. We need to be flexible. Every person is different. We cannot go with our suitcase of apology and offer it to the other person. But what you said, thank you so much. I think it's a good adding. And the last one, the loss of love and the loss of life. One thing I don't want to miss: only insecure people are afraid to apologize. So remember that. I don't know, a little secret next time. let's go. Oh, if I said it already. Okay, I said it already. Let me tell. So do you know a French proverb? If and you know, French people, they are on a high place of they consider to be the best lovers, it's not only to sexually. They consider the best romantic lovers in the world. Do you know what they're saying? They are saying that if a woman in guilt, ask her for forgiveness. What does it mean? It means that this is going only to relationship between a man and a woman. Don't push your woman to apologize. If you see that a woman, your woman, if you see that a woman already, you see in her eyes that she understood, it doesn't mean that you need, okay, now I will disregard. No, if you see that she understood, don't push her to apologize with the frame, because do not at that moment you are going on the same level with her. And she stopped feeling that you are stronger, that you are her protector, that you are her like godly man who can say, no, okay. And in fact, men are treating women as a children, as a child. So it's something a little secret. You don't need to go with it, just what I share with you. Okay, the loss of love and the loss of life. So Mr. Covey is talking about unconditional love. When we truly love each other without condition, without strings, we help them feel secure and safe and validated. We give them the freedom to act on their own rather than act to our conditions and limitations. This does not mean to become permissive or soft. We often go into extreme. If I love unconditionally, I need to let it to do everything. Do you remember we talk about how to making pot? What is this? Support and pressure. And it's going toward everything, toward not only toward first toward our children, and it's also going toward all people who are around us. So let's go further. When we truly love others, yes, I said that. So P, problems, and PC, opportunities. This is another powerful paradigm of interdependence. It deals with the way in which we see problems. So what is that? Instead of seeing it as a problem, we can see it as an opportunity to build a deep relationship. What we do usually when we see a problem, we want to run away, right? And we want to quit and find something easier, but we cannot run away from yourself. I'm sorry. We can run, but we will meet another different person, absolutely the same. Because it means we are running from that problem, but we are carrying that problem inside of us, and we emanate that problem to the other person. If you have any problem, just try to solve it and try to make it in your best. If I'm too straightful and I have some problem with communication, I don't need to say, she's probably not smart, or she's too offensive, right? I can say that and go to another person, but I'm bringing my boldness to the other person, and the same problem will be there. So what I need to understand that the people are different, people are not like me, and I need to work again on myself. Instead of seeing as a problem, I said it. And this is even John Adams, but he's saying absolutely the same problem. So, and the last thing, there's so important that I really wanted just that you would read when we violate the primary laws of love, when we attach strings and conditions to that gift, we actually encourage others to violate the primary laws of life. So, of course, Mr. Covey talked about gift, it's a gift of love. We put them in a reactive, defensive position where they feel they have to prove, I matter as a person, I am matter independent of you. And in reality, they aren't independent in this condition. They are counter-dependent, which is another form of dependency and is at the lowest of the maturity continuum. Mr. Covey is talking about maturity level, right? They become reactive, almost enemy-centered, more centered about defending their rights. And opposite, if we, for example, this is Mr. Covey is talking, we are attached, right? If we are attached to someone, who can say? So right now, Mr. Covey, if we attach them, right? So they are dependent. But if we are attached, we made them attached to us. If we are attached to someone, guys, we are dependent. And we are at the lowest end of maturity continuum. So simple as that. And we are suffering. We are suffering because we are attached. Those people are fine. It's we are in our mind, we are attached, and we are suffering, they're fine. So we are dependent, become ourselves from one side. He offered a good example. I actually don't see exactly how it relates. So we will skip it. We were talking about a lot of examples. So guys, congratulations. We finished the preparation for the next step. And next step is public victory. The habit of interdependence. With the paradigm of the emotional bank account in mind, we are ready to move into the habit of public victory, of success in working with other people. And of course, with the suitcase of private victory. Being proactive, start the first thing first, and start with the end in mind. Guys, are we ready to go into public victory? I'm very happy. Thank you so much. If you have to say something, what did you take from here? What are you going with? Please share.
I mean, I really like the idea of the emotional bank account. In fact, you know, my son and I are working on this, and you know, I just find that going through this process again, you know, 30 years later, you know, I find it more messy than when I was younger, and I don't know why. And I think it's because, you know, I guess my you know, my awareness of ethics is stronger potentially because life experience, you know, life kicks you in the teeth a few times. You kind of know, like, yeah, you know, that's not the right thing to do. And I find that, you know, it's a lot messier. So to me, dealing with other people, I guess we should expect it to be messy in general, you know, even to our loved, you know, with our loved ones, you know. So.
So you mean you see the world and connections more messier than before, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, because we were very idealistic, Patrick, when we were younger. Right now we see like captain, we see from the top, and we recognize people who are younger than we are. We see them through. We see much more. Before what? Before we had tunnel vision. We were happy. We were going to something. We were interested in something. We didn't see. It was existed before. We just didn't see that. But thank you for mentioning it. Yeah, thank you. Anybody else? With Violeta?
I really like that you shared about the animals. I think more people needs to be aware of the horror we do to the animals.
And we have the options to at least make it less. So, and this is called how to live with awareness. Yes, we can pretend that we don't know anything, we don't see, we don't do it, we are quiet. but this is unaware. This is what the people are saying, sleeping condition. We are now a dream, but yeah, let's be aware what we are doing, because God gave us this world and we are ruling it, and see how we are ruling. The responsibility on us. Thank you, Violeta. Okay, thank you so much, guys. I tremendously enjoy all your participation and your insightful ideas and comments. Thank you so much again, and see you next Sunday at 4. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Lena.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
My pleasure.